Ladies and gentlemen, in this RedGamingTech.com video, we're going to be discussing PlayStation 4 shipments and launch. In other words, how many systems will actually be available and the regions they will be available within. So, if you've been a long-time gamer, you'll probably remember the PS2 launch was a bit of a fiasco, particularly in Europe. Not only was it delayed, but there weren't that many available on launch. And it seems that this is going to be similar for the PlayStation 4 as well. Right now, the upstream supply chains have yet to receive any shipment instructions from Sony at all, and this is an indication that the systems are actually going to be delayed in their initial shipment. Now, when I say this, I don't mean that the actual launch window is going to be postponed. I just mean that it's going to take them longer to actually start shipping them out to suppliers. In other words, there will be a smaller supply of systems at the system's launch. Originally, they were estimating at least 12 to 16 million by the end of 2013, and indeed, sometimes they'd even predicted that it could reach up to 20 million units at the end of 2013. What they had originally hoped is that the systems would start shipping in June, with mass shipments scheduled for in August. However, that does not seem, right now at least, to be the case, and right now they don't seem to be putting out any systems. So what does that mean? Well, as I was saying, when the system was first announced, they were very tentative to announce which regions it was going to be launched in. It's possible that this may mean that European launch could actually slip back a little bit, possibly until maybe early next year, which obviously isn't particularly good for fans of either the PlayStation in Europe. And it's not particularly good for Sony either when you consider that if of course their biggest rival right now, Microsoft, managed to actually get a worldwide launch with a decent amount of systems, it could certainly scupper Sony at least somewhat in the European regions, because let's face it, if you're a parent and you're wanting to buy, little Timmy a new console, you're probably not going to wait until, I don't know, for example, February or March. You're just going to want to buy one for him for Christmas. Therefore, it's likely that Microsoft are going to pick up a few remnants of sales. It's somewhat ironic, however, because Microsoft were reported, especially in the software side of things, to be up to 6 months behind their rival. So obviously this is just the normal launch stuff. Everything is usually delayed on launch. I don't think there's been a particularly smooth console launch ever. There always seems to be something that's a bit iffy. Indeed, even the original Xbox 360 was quite limited on launch. Of course, the original Wii is quite famous for its shortages. The other problem, of course, is this generally means that people will then start, especially if they're really limited in a particular region. For example, let's say 100,000 are sold in, for example, the UK. What generally happens, of course, is people pick up 2 or 3 of them, and then they stick them on eBay, and that happened for a few consoles, including the Wii, actually. And it's a good way to make money. However, it doesn't make you a very popular person. I'm not really going to comment on that one. Not something I've ever done, however. Anyway, once again, this is not 100% confirmed, and it's not an indication that there is a delay or will be a delay, but it is certainly a little bit of cause for concern anyway. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and I will hopefully see you soon. Take care, and bye for now.